I have to say, I've never loved the winter. I'm from a region of the country where winter is historically short and pretty mild, and I think that it has shaped my long term seasonal preferences. Over the years, I've gotten better at dealing with the cold, but the hardest part for me every year when winter rolls around is the darkness. When I see the sun starting to set at 4 p.m., it's just a bit of a bummer for me. I love the long days of summer and the many hours of sunlight that we get to enjoy during those warmer months. And the onset of winter darkness often feels disorienting for me. I lose track of what time it is, I get sleepy earlier in the evening, I often feel zapped of energy or maybe a bit listless. And these long nights, as they've begun in recent weeks, have gotten me thinking about Advent and the hope that Christmas brings. As the Episcopal priest Fleming Rutledge is fond of saying, Advent begins in the dark. In her excellent book on Advent, Rutledge shares this great story about a parishioner asking her, "What will your Advent sermon series be about this year?" And without batting an eye, she replies, "Darkness and destruction." And while in the story the parishioner laughs in response, she was quite serious, because Advent is a time when we are forced to reckon with the darkness in us and around us. This year, more than I can ever remember, it feels true on multiple levels. I feel so aware of the darkness this year. The early sunsets, yes, but the other forms of darkness that we have encountered this year. There has been so much suffering and pain and loss. And even as we look toward the light of Christmas, it feels like we're still deep in the darkness of Advent. But friends, the good news is that despite the darkness, we remain a people of hope, because though Advent begins in the dark, it ends in the light. Advent points us toward the coming birth of Christ. And the Gospels tell us that when the angel appears to Mary to tell of Jesus' birth, the angel indicates that the Christ child will be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. And so, friends, despite the difficulties that we face this year, we still look to Christmas, because it's a reminder of God's lasting presence in our life, even through Advent darkness. God voluntarily steps into the pain and the suffering of this world and chooses to go by a name that means God with us. And that's a reality that can sustain us through even the darkest of winter nights. Peace, friends.